Don't forget to punch that subscribe button and enable notifications so that you get every video that I upload right to your device, right when it goes up. And thank you for your continued support. So let's talk about the Universe Survival Arc in Dragon Ball Super, and I want to address a couple of the frequently asked questions about this arc and what we may or may not see. I'm having some trouble coming up with the title of this video, so I'm probably just going to call it Vegito and Hit in the Universe Survival Arc, because we're going to talk about Vegito and Hit here. It's going to be a laid-back discussion. I'm not going to over-edit it. It's going to be more podcast style, and I want to talk about what people have been bringing up about how it's possible that because the Universe Survival Tournament, the Tournament of Might, that the Tournament of Might's taking place in a void. It's called the Void. It's a place that exists outside of the 12 universes, a realm that has no space and time. And the big questions that have been asked is, how will this affect Hit's abilities, and how will it affect a possible fusion if fusion is allowed in this tournament? Because it seems like, based on Dragon Ball Super episode 79 and the other episodes we have of this tournament, it seems like the Omni Kings are a lot more lax when it comes to the rules of this tournament versus the Universe 6 tournament, which they had no impact on. But, you know, you had the classic ring outs and things like that. We're not seeing ring outs here. This tournament, they want to see a winner. So that makes me wonder, will we see fusion? Will it be allowed? And if so, how will the lack of space and time really affect it, if it even will? So joining me to have this discussion, please welcome MJ from Geek List Television, or as they say in Japan, Gikuristo Terevi.
Thank you for having me on the channel, bro. It's always a pleasure to be on here.
Let's talk about Dragon Ball Super. So, let's actually talk about Hit first, okay? Hit's time skip ability, the Tokitobashi, we discovered in Dragon Ball Super episodes, I think it was, 71 and 72, the two-part, the two-part Who Killed Goku, or Who Got Hired to Kill Goku arc, and it turned out to be Goku who hired him.
Didn't you dub that Mary Hitmas?
No, I think Mary Hitman was just a stupid Instagram meme, but it did come out. It did come out on Christmas Day, so I guess Mary. You know what? Yeah, I did dub it Mary Hitman, whatever. So Hit tries to kill Goku, and we found out in that episode that the Tokitobashi, the way it works is that Hit skips time by jumping into another realm, like he jumps into another dimension, so to speak, and then he uses that to, a pocket dimension. Then he uses that to skip time and then come back. That's the technicalities behind it. Again, folks, don't overthink this. This is just comic book pseudoscience. Please don't try to apply real-world science to this. It's just a freaking anime. We can't do it. Let's have fun with it. So the question is, because they're going to be stuck in a place with no space and time, okay, do you think that this is going to prevent Hit from creating that pocket dimension and utilizing the time skip in the tournament? Because I was telling Dino the other day about my idea with this. If Hit is unable to perform the time skip, it's going to put him in a tremendous disadvantage in this tournament, and I think it's a good way to, as they say in pro wrestling, protect Hit. So Hit could lose the tournament, but they've always got that asterisk of them saying, oh, well, he lost, but if he could do the time skip, he would have performed a lot better. So I think that's good writing if they weasel their way out of it by doing that. But what do you think? I almost feel like they won't do that, because I think that we should probably see the time skip, because it's Hit's like signature move.
I will kind of bring up Boo and use him as an example. I think in episode 79, everybody saw how dangerous Boo is. Obviously he has the candy beam, he has the absorption, and I think a lot of people forgot this, bro. He can heal. So can you imagine if he's on the Tournament of Power? He's on the battlefield with two other people. If one gets hurt, like Roshi, he can go and heal him. You know what I mean? So I think people forgot about that. So like Boo, Hit's a very hacks character, especially in the anime. Like, we've already seen him showcase a lot of new techniques. You know what I mean? We see how deadly he is, especially the time skip. Whereas in the anime version, bro, he can increase it. You know what I mean? Like, he can match it. He can keep increasing it. So it would be a good way to nerf him, I think. And I think you brought up a good point here, is it'll protect him. Like, yeah, he lost in the Tournament of Power, but at the same time, later on in the series, if they want to bring him back, he can still be a big threat. Now,
that's right.
I've seen people bring this up, though. They said that I see people in the comment section before bring this up, and that was the fact that since this is like not real logic, it's DB world, maybe even though this place exists outside of like time and space, it'll have its own time and space inside the void. You know what I mean? I don't know how that would work. It would be some wacky shit, but that could be a way for them to, kind of still let him keep his Tokidobashi. Like I
Yeah,
don't know.
no, I agree with you. I'm actually kind of skeptical on the fact that there will not be time and space because you have to have time and space. You have to have it explain that you have to have it explained that because okay, you can't have a place that does not have time and space. I think what they're probably referring to and what they're probably going to do, which I think is kind of clever, is that they're going to have the tournament take place outside of the timeline. That
Mm,
way, when they come back to Earth, it's almost as if, like, for example, this tournament, this is actually kind of clever writing. Because we're so close to the end of Z, I'm guessing what they're going to do is they're going to have this tournament, right? They're going to leave the regular timeline, go into this alternate realm dimension where time does not pass outside of like time will pass in the actual universes but
yeah.
not in there, right? So when Goku and the gang return to Earth or return to Universe 7 or whatever, no time will pass. Like it'll be like a like they just left. I think that's very clever because then people aren't going to be like, well, what's this mean? What's that mean? I mean, we might even have it be like where they come back and Vegeta is surprised that Bra is already like she's already like she's still not born yet. Like the
Yeah.
story could be that they're in there and Vegeta's like, we've been fighting this tournament for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. It's going to be a long tournament, right? They get
Yeah.
out and Bra is still not born, and he's gonna be like, wait a minute, I thought you were due already, and then Bulma could be like, well, you've only been gone for an hour, and they could do some clever thing like that. Now let's talk about Vegito, okay? The one of the things I've seen brought up time and time again, and it is a good question because the thing is that there are a lot of dumb questions that the fandom gives us, but there's a lot of good questions too, and that is if fusion is allowed in this tournament, and if we see Vegito again, because this realm, this void, is outside of a regular timeline where time and space is obviously going to be different. Does this mean that we have two scenarios, or three scenarios? A, the 1 hour Potara time limit might be extended because time does not exist. B, the fusion won't even work because you need time to make it exist. Or C, it'll still be 1 hour because even though it takes place outside the timeline, time is still passing at a relative rate, and thus the Potara magic will still be dignified or signified as it being an hour. So, what do you think about those three possibilities? Which one seems the most realistic, I guess, to you?
I do not think Super thought this far ahead, bro. Isn't it be like how Goku just existed in time and space just by going to go get the Omni King? I'm just I'm just kidding. But if I were to try and give an answer, I would think maybe it could help and extend it, but at the same time, I don't see it really. Man, what's a good way to put this? Because in the Tournament of Power, we already know of who's the guy's name again? Topo or Topo?
Topo, yeah, he is the
Topo.
big shot from Universe 11.
Now we know in the opening, Goku's fighting that alien guy. Now this other dude, who's actually the leader of the Pride Troopers, he's supposed to be so strong that he was, scouted at one time to be the god destruction, so of his universe. So if that's the case, we could see fusion like Goku and Vegeta, like to help the Omni King. Like the Omni King can say it's fine if he wants to see a good fight. They'll let him do it. You know what I mean? They'll throw the earrings at him and Goku and Vegeta confused, and it could be a good way, bro.
Or or if they really want to get wacky, bro, since there's multiple Kaioshin, they could do multiple fusions. We might see Goku, Vegeta, we might see 17 and 18. Why not? Why not just blow your load, sell some toys, and let's see a bunch of fused characters in this tournament? Why not?
Didn't
Why not?
didn't 17 and 18 already fuse in Heroes though?
Everybody fusing heroes, bro.
But yeah, that could be a good way to introduce Fusion real quick. And everyone was pissed, bro, about the whole retcon, the whole 1 hour time limit when episode 66 dropped. So this could be a way of having Vegito fight for an extended amount of time against these, because we know there ain't gonna be no jabronis in this tournament. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be some hard hitters in here. So it would be cool to actually get Vegito come back, and I would have to probably go with the fact that maybe it could extend it. I think it could make up for that retcon, in my opinion.
I think it could, yeah. I think a lot of the Vegito fans are going to feel better about it. I mean, I really do. You could have, I mean, I'm not saying you have Vegito fight the entire tournament, but you have a segment of the tournament where they need to fuse. They think it's a good way to win or something. They could do that. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, but I mean, so you think that it is possible that they'll have the Vegito fusion again, we're just talking shit here. This is
Yeah, we're
not.
just speculating.
This is not a spoiler. You think that we might get the Vegito fusion back, and I know some people are probably going to be asking for Gogeta. I don't think we're going to see that, but I mean, anything can happen, bro.
Yeah,
But
anything could happen at this
anything
point in
can
time.
happen at this point, yeah. So you think that Vegito will come and it'll be a longer fight with Vegito versus the fight with Zamasu, even though he'll be putting out a lot more energy because it'll be Vegito, stronger because Goku and Vegeta have gotten stronger since that fight with Zamasu, or presumably stronger.
Yeah, man, I think so. I think it's a good way to make up for that retcon. And hell, I mean, more Vegito, right? I mean, shit. Plus, I think it would just be cool to kind of see Vegito fight because we saw him fight in episode 66, and it would be cool to see him actually come back, showcase a lot more maneuvers, showcase a lot more moves, see him go toe to toe with some of the hard hitters. I mean, what do you think? Because I feel like it could be a way to extend the fusion, I think that could be a way to do it.
It's just a look here. Let's be real. Let's keep it 100% real. Dragon Ball Super is built on fan service. That's what it's built on. That's why Trunks came back. That's why we have female Broly, which still doesn't have a name. That's why we have Frieza even coming back. Like all these characters, Arale, in Japan, much bigger over there than here, but it doesn't matter. It's built on fan service, so why not just freaking do that? Why not? I mean, I have a feeling, bro, that they're gonna have like a PyCon race guy from a different universe just to tribute him, like not PyCon, but like a Pykuhan, like type guy with the big lips or whatever, the Namekian with the big lips, whatever that race is.
I'm still hoping. You and Dino did a video and you guys mentioned why PyCon wasn't there. You guys brought up the idea that maybe for like a few seconds Goku does go to the afterlife to kind of try and recruit him, and he declines or whatever. I think that would be kind of cool if they did do that.
It would, but the only thing I just don't want people to get tweet me saying, "Oh, does that mean PyCon's canon?" Like whenever you bring in a filler character into Super, you've always got the people who are obsessed with canon talking about it, and I just don't want to deal with it because they don't understand that there is no freaking canon. Like stop worrying about canon and enjoy the show. All right, if something is
We
not
can't just
canon,
have some fun, man.
I have fun all the time, bro. I'm saying people need to let it go. People are obsessed over canon. Just have fun with the freaking show.
Let's just have fun with it, man.
That's all. Just who cares if something's not canon, bro? There's so much great non-canonical stuff in all fiction, dude. Like, dude, some of those Frank Miller Batman novels are non-canon and they're freaking amazing. Like, just have a good time with it, But anyways, that's a different video. Let us know your thoughts. Do you think that the time and space void is going to affect is going to affect the fusion and hits technique? Do you think we're just overthinking it? We're just addressing this because I've seen this question pop up several times with Twitter and things like that, and it doesn't. We don't really know yet, but we gave our answers. So let us know yours.
Before we
check
got
out
here,
Geek List.
before we got here, what about this? What if Hit created his own space and time continuum? Would that just be a little too OP?
Well, that's what he does. He does create his own space. He creates his own pocket universe, which is why I think that Hit's time skip will still work in that void, because it's not that the place has no time and space. It's that it exists outside of a timeline. That's the way I'm perceiving it. That's what I'm saying. It hasn't been 100% confirmed, but I think that makes the most sense.
It would make sense to actually keep the time skip in for him, not have to nerf him.
So, yeah, but if they do nerf him, it's a good way out to say, oh, he lost because of that, So there you go. Anyway, check out Geek List TV. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to y'all down that road.